Well, hello there. Good afternoon to you all. So, I will now make my review for Fairy Tale Manga Chapter 332 called Firebird. So, well, this chapter starts roughly as the last one ended with Natsu going doing his stuff and with Friedel or Fried kinda Friedrich who bound arc too bad memory. However, Fried is kinda Fried is kinda fighting Atlas Flame alongside the other members of the Raishu tribe and Laxus, but they are not being effective, even Laxus, because the dragon kinda boasts that hahaha my flames kinda destroy all magic. So then they kinda are well, we are in a pinch and so on, and someone, I think it's the guy with the mask, Bixlaw. I think Bixlaw say, uh, if someone knows of any water type dragon slayer, but then I think that it's free, I guess. Says that, well, I know, but can a fire dragon slayer works? And then we see a panel with Happy dropping Natsuin on top of Atlas Flame, and Atlas Flame is quite pissed, and Natsu basically says, "I'm gonna eat you." Uh, so, okay, Natsu is the boss in a way, and he begins eating the flames of Atlas Flame. And then he kinda asks Laxus and Raishin Shu to leave this dragon to him and go help Wendy. Uh, and Laxus kinda, are you sure, or something like that? And Natsu says yes. And then I think that again Big Slaw that says, well, Wendy indeed is a young dragon slayer, so it's better if we go help her out. So, um, and then we have um, Atlas Flame trying to push over Natsu, and then we have also a panel with Rogue, future Rogue on top of Mother Greya saying, "Ha ha ha ha! I'm the king. I'm the ruler. I will become the Dragon King. The world will be mine. Shadows will be light, and so on and so on and so on." Um, and then we see other fights during this future Rogue speech. We see other guilds fighting other dragons. Uh, we do not see much of the fight, but we know that they are still fighting. And then Atlas Flame kind of begins questioning Natsu, saying, "I don't believe a human cannot eat my flames. Who are you?" Uh, and he says, I'm Natsu, and I'm the son of Ignil." And Atlas Flame is, "What?" And then Natsu asks, "So, do you know Ignil?" or something like that, and he says, "Yeah, I remember this feeling. Remember that Natsu is on top of Atlas Flames, eating his flames." And Atlas Flames kinda has a flashback with Ignil, and apparently, like we already knew or suspected, that Ignil is the king of all the fire dragon kind. So he kinda remembers. Also, apparently, got his ass kicked by Ignil in the past. So, and then when Rogue is finishing up his speech, we see Natsu appearing and attacking Rogue, future Rogue, and he says, What happened?" And he looks, and Natsu is actually riding Atlas Flames, and the two dragons clash. And Rogue is what the fuck? Not exactly, but is this to the dragon? And Atlas Flame says, well, Natsu is the son of an old friend of mine, the king of the dragon fire type. So, epa, this line was very much Pokemon. Well, and so I will fight alongside him, and that's the end of the chapter. So basically, the plan of Natsu, and I also saw some videos that refer this, and it was the most logical choice for Natsu to power up and replenish his own power is to consume the flames of Atlas Flame, obviously. The thing that surprised me is that actually during this process, basically Natsu assumed command over Atlas Flame. That surprised me. Uh, I was not expecting that Atlas Flame will ended up going along with Natsu. So, well, it was an interesting twist. So, if the other dragons that are fighting other dragon slayers also possess, these dragon slayers also possess abilities similar to them, this means that they will fight with the dragon slayers, because at the last page we see next chapter persons and dragons, or people and dragons and people. So could this imply that the dragon slayer power becomes complete if he is able to make some connection with a dragon, and kinda both powers are balanced and boost each other during battle? Could it, could be could this be one of the, I don't know, secret Dragon Slayer arts that existed eventually? So this chapter, it was short. We continue to see that the dragons are quite strong and that average mages are not able to inflict then uh, or wound the dragons or inflict them pain or damage them. I was kind of disappointed because I kind of was expecting that the Laxus Dragon Lightning mode was kind of effective or more effective against dragons. So, well, but probably this depends of the element. Eventually, perhaps Laxus Lightning will be more useful against Zirconius eventually. I guess that's possible. Uh, so, well, then we next chapter will be interesting. I do hope that next chapter Mashima kinda diverges a little of the stories, showing us more about the fights of the other Dragon Slayers, because we only have a panel with Laxus fighting Atlas Flame, we have a panel of Cobra fighting the dragon, that big rock dragon, and there are other dragons where I don't know if it's Rogue, if it was Sting. They are fighting another dragon, but it actually does not show much of the other fights with the other dragon slayers. So this kinda disappointed me because I think they deserve more airing time just to show us what are their powers, or a bit what are the powers of that dragons, how are the dragon slayers countering that powers, and so on, like he did for instance with Natsu in this episode. I hope Hiroshima goes that way for a few chapters, because if not, it's disappointing in the least. and concentrating all the fight simply on Natsu and Rogue, well, the fight will be probably from now on will be amazing because each one of them has a dragon under their command. So it that will be interesting. However, I kinda was expecting to see how the other fights are running and what powers the other dragons have and how are the dragon slayers countering them. And I think that a lot of readers of fairy tale are hoping for that. So I do hope that Mashima do that on the next chapters. Also, he left us on last chapter with a cliffhanger regarding Jalal, Erza, and Miliana. Well, I don't see because I honestly don't care much about this. However, I'm quite interested to see if Miliana tries to take revenge of Shalal, if they talk a bit and then they kinda make a truce until the end of the fight with the dragons. This is not the most important part of the plot. However, it will be good to have some kind of conclusion to that cliffhanger, in my opinion. But what I really wanted that Mashima show us is other dragon slayers fighting other dragons. What powers they are using, how they are countering the dragons, and so on. Because if he does not do that, it will be another disappointing arc. And since he hyped quite a lot the arrival of the dragons and their powers and so on and so on and so on, you need to work on that a bit, right? I guess. Well, that's my opinion. In any case, the chapter was a very good chapter. I like it. However, I hope to see the other fights with more development, to see the other dragons, what are their powers and their abilities, or part of their powers and their abilities, and I want to see how the dragon slayers are countering their powers. Well, but this is my review for Fairy Tale chapter 332. Hope you enjoy. Stay well. Peace.